I'm Kathryn and today we're going to talk about auditing yourself, especially if you are a writer who uses social media to market or promote yourself. But first, this idea was inspired by Celine Terranova. She wrote this book, Happy Not Tortured, which is her second book. This particular one focuses on mental health, but the first book that she wrote, The Part-Time Artist, inspired this idea because she has this whole section dedicated to time wasters and auditing yourself on social media, which if you haven't read any of her books, I'd highly suggest that you check them out because her information is very insightful and helpful. I'm gonna leave my reviews of the books in the iCards above, and I will leave links to her books in the description down below. Check them out. Now I'm going to share my story of how Celine changed my life because, oh my gosh, I never considered auditing myself on social media, and I took her advice and I started slow and I focused on Facebook because that's where I spent the majority of my time because I was part of over 50 Facebook groups. I know. I had groups for writing, for reading, for YouTube, for editing, for freelancing, gardening even. I have so many Facebook groups, and when I really sat down and asked myself, where am I putting my time and what am I getting back from? I ended up leaving over half of them, and by the end of it, I had 25 groups. And I started seeing results because since I wasn't spending so much time going through all the groups, magically I had more time. And when I saw these results, I became very focused on putting my time in areas where I get stuff back, because you should always get a return on your investment. Oh, guys, I cannot emphasize enough the importance of starting small. The reason for that is that this video has been a long time in the making. I originally planned to do a audit video 6 months ago. I waited and waited. It really is a blessing in disguise because honestly, after all the time that I focused on Facebook, on my own fan page, of being part of other people's groups, I've come to the conclusion that frankly, the way that I'm using Facebook and the way that I'm engaging in it does not work for me and my goals and what I'm trying to accomplish. As much as I try and say that these groups are for writing or for reading or for whatever, really they end up being a waste of my time. It is so hard to admit, especially when you have a large platform like Facebook where you have so many people who just spout how amazing and how much it works for them. The reality is that for some people, it's not going to work, and you might be one of them. Once I came to that conclusion, I really started focusing on things like Twitter and Instagram and places where I'm spending a lot of time and asking, am I getting a return on my investment? And in some places, the answer is no. Sometimes it's my fault, like on Twitter, where really in order to get a return on my investment, I would need to invest more time, and I just don't have the time to do that. But in places like Instagram, where you really just need to post a picture a day, you can see amazing growth. And the growth that I've had on Instagram is a lot faster than on Twitter, which is as old as my YouTube account, which when you look at the numbers is sad because I think I've only had Instagram for like a year and my numbers are so much better. This whole year I've decided to experiment a bit and go out of my comfort zone and to start to look at platforms that before I never really considered. And one of the platforms is Reddit. And oh my gosh, I really love Reddit. And so far I'm seeing a return, not just with writing, but for YouTube. And so right now, that's my platform that I really would suggest for people who have previously used Facebook and haven't had success to try out Reddit. I'm also going into Goodreads, which has a whole community, which I did not know about. And I'm also going to be trying out things like Twitch and perhaps TikTok. I don't know, but that's way off into the future. I have ideas for Twitching and live streaming in general all to come, which none of this would have happened if I didn't read Celine Terranova's book and wasn't encouraged to audit myself with my time spent on social media. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Tootsies, my applezines! Yeah, if you'd like to see more pictures of tuna, you should follow me on Instagram. She sleeps a lot, so don't expect interesting things. You know, the other cats on YouTube, they do interesting stuff. I know you're thinking, I do interesting stuff, I sleep.